Hey family, I'm back with another fitness video for you. I seen so many young teenagers, asking me questions, which, I used to ask a lot many trainers, people who were a little experienced, but unfortunately, all those guys that I was asking, a bunch of idiots. All of them, actually most of them. I'm not trying to cast anybody here, guys, but this is actually the sad truth in the fitness industry that, especially Indian fitness industry, that everybody wants to make money. Everybody feels that they know it all, and just to pass on that little knowledge, they can charge you a bomb, and that is exactly what is happening. So what exactly am I sharing with you? I'm not going to be sharing, what you should be worried about and, these are the scams, this is what you should not do. I'm going to be sharing some of the things that I went through, 5 key critical mistakes I made in my training days, guys, and, I've been training for over 15 years now. And it just happened so much so that, I came across people, I came across supplements, I came across juice, drugs, and I want to share that experience with you because I see some of the teenagers also falling prey to those kind of things that I was unaware of back then. But luckily you have this channel now, and whatever I will be sharing with you, it's just the candid opinion, whatever I went through, so that you could avoid those mistakes. Having said that, so what was the biggest mistake? So it's not going to be in a prioritized order, it's just going to be 5 things that I would be sharing. So the number one mistake I made was following trainers or so-called the fitness expert gurujis of the world blindly. They would tell me, and I'm telling you, this is the truth in the Indian industry, that fitness industry, that there are a lot of senior gurujis out there, and they shove some certain drugs into the aspiring bodybuilders without actually telling them what they're actually shoving it, obviously because they don't want their secret to be out. I fell into that victim, though I know I stayed away from that stuff, but they try to tell me, hey, beta, why don't you come, we should train together, I'll give you the body you want, and I started trusting them, and before I knew it, I was spending at least 25,000 rupees back in the days on just pure supplements. Man, those were the days, man, and I see kids these days doing the same thing, which is such a, I think, I relate to those kids, so guys, please do not follow those guys blindly, guys. I'm not saying don't follow anyone, follow somebody, but somebody who you trust. But somebody who's trust always backstab you. At least that has been my experience. So do your due diligence right. Number 2, this is so true when it comes to Indian males. So guys, if you're thinking, why am I sweating? Because I have a soundproof room with the AC is not too effective. That's why I end up sweating so much by the end of the video, because I get this question a lot that, hey, why do you sweat so much? So that's the reason. Number 2 is not accepting body type. Like, if you look at me, I'm a big guy. Endomorph, I always have a tough time losing weight, which means, getting genetically very lean, skinny. But, people used to tell me, we had that modeling kid, hey, you gotta be a model, you gotta be lean, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. So I went against my genetics. And, I'm going to put up a picture somewhere here. I lost weight too, I started looking leaner too, but after some time, the weight came right back. I couldn't maintain it. That was another biggest mistake, guys. And, that gave me depression. I would go to a modeling agency, they would say, you're too big. I would try to get back in shape. He was like, no, you're still not lean enough. So going against body type is also one of the key reasons. I would say one of the biggest mistakes I made. I should have just, accepted my body type. So that's the reason I tell kids, I tell teenagers that, accept your body type. Guys, if your body type is not allowing you to get lean or get big, work around that. I'll give you an example. Look at Kareena Kapoor in Tushan. She looked amazing, right? Size 0. But that's not her body type, and after a few years she came back to her usual self. It becomes very difficult to maintain. So that's also one mistake I made, going against my body type. Number 3, this is very interesting, changing programs. I used to see these big guys coming to the gym, and chiseled guys. I would ask them, hey, which program are you following? So he used to tell me, I'm doing this. So I would start following that program, and we get influenced. And after some time, the programs obviously won't work because, most of the time these guys are just bullshitting you. They're not telling you the right thing. In about 4 or 5 days, I would say, this program is not working. Let me change it to another one. After a week or so, I'll find another guy. I'll start following his program. So in the bargain, I was changing so many programs way too often, so obviously results couldn't come in. That's the reason I see young kids doing and making the same mistake, asking everybody, hey, which program are you following? Tell me this, tell me that, tell me this. No, guys. Stick to a program for at least 4 to 6 weeks to see the results. That's a mistake I made. I don't want you to make that same mistake. Number 4. This is my personal favorite. It's true, but it's what do we do? It's called impatient. I was really impatient to get results. I see everybody so desperate to get results. Oh, I want my body like this. I want six-pack. I want this. I want it now. Guys, in fitness, impatience is not a virtue. Patience is not a virtue. It's a necessity. You got to be patient to get to your results. Trust me, I will give you a cliche that Rome wasn't built in a day. So how can you expect your body to be built in days? Can't be, man. You got to stay friggin' patient. Don't lose out. Results will come in, but you got to be patient. But because you're impatient, it'll make you do crazy things. That comes to my point number 5, drug use. And because I wanted results earlier, it made me take that path of drugs. And trust me, guys, it's not a decent road. You start with one drug, hoping that, you know what, I'm just going to do one cycle. And after that one cycle, once I get to my result, I'll leave it. But does that happen? No. Then to maintain that those gains, you get to another cycle, to another one, and before you realize it, you become a junkie. You become addicted to it. That's why when you ask me these questions on gears and juice, I always tell you to stay away from it. That's the reason, guys. Once you get into this rut and get stuck in this zone, it's very difficult to get rid of and just get out of. It has been hard for me too, but I have. That's why I always tell you guys that, you can get results naturally, but don't get into this jungle of juice, of drugs. It's never about one cycle. It's always about multiple cycles, and sometimes those cycles last you for a lifetime. Like I know so many guys, they're just on Testa for so many years. That's the way it is. They've signed up for that lifestyle. I don't want you to do that. So I made those mistakes and I'm glad I'm out of them. So I thought it'll be interesting for me via this video to share those 5 mistakes. Again, I'm going to summarize it for you. The number 1 mistake you can make in your fitness journey is following trainers blindly, trusting them blindly. Do not do that. Number 2, accept your body type. Not accepting it and thinking that I'm a superman, I'm going to change my body type. It's stupidity. Don't do that. Number 3, changing programs. Just by looking at a beefed up guy or a chiseled guy, hey, I'm going to be like him, let me follow his program. Doesn't work. That's another mistake you can make. Number 4, if you're impatient to get results, guys, you're not going to get any results. And this impatience will lead you to a point number 5. It'll get you into drug use, which exactly you don't want, because it's never about one cycle. It's about multiple cycles which last lifetime. So I hope that these critical mistakes help you. I hope you learn from these mistakes and you follow a natural route to get to your body. Any one of you have any questions around this, feel free to reach out to me. Yes, I do take time to reply because I go through every question in detail. You can go to tarungillfitness.com/discussion and put up your question there, and I'll get back to you in a couple of days, or it could be hours also, depending on my schedule. You can also reach out to me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I'm pretty active there too, and I'm going to probably again route you to discussion for you to put up your question, because it's a common platform for me to address all the queries. As I said, the rule, sweating. So until we meet again, peace.